Yay, awesome. Okay, so welcome to our October new coach call. We got less than 30 minutes to bust through a lot of information, but truly at the end of this call, we want you to feel excited to just go do something, right? Like that is, if there's one thing that, I've learned through these years of this business is that it has to stay fun and it has to be something that you wake up excited about. Otherwise, it's just going to feel like one more thing on your to-do list. And that's really not the purpose of the passion work we do here. So tonight I'm going to address a few things, really so that I can see you as a new coach or newer coaches take action, right? We're going to talk about this idea of action over outcome tonight, but perfection always stops us in our tracks. And I see it way too many times, and it's not going to be you. It's not going to be this month. We're going to talk about what coaching is. Maybe you have some misconceptions, even though you're enrolled as a coach. I know I enrolled as a coach and I was like, am I part of a pyramid scheme? I wasn't really sure, right? And sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And so I'm going to try to, really help you understand what coaching truly is. Again, talking about action, vital behaviors are a big piece of our action. And so I'm going to walk you through that and kind of show you how we use that to work as coaches. And then I want to give you guys some next steps as you leave this call, so you feel equipped to go out there and just, like I said, start taking action. So first of all, coaching is super simple. Let me break it down. It really is a belief. It's a belief that you have what it takes to help other people. And we build that belief a lot of times through our own journey. Many of you might be here because you had success in your journey at some point. And so you felt like, wow, if I could do this, I can't even imagine what other people must feel like. And I want to be the one who kind of links arms with them and cheers them on. And I want to be the one that helps them create the kind of change I've had. So it starts with a lot of belief. But belief is not something that's just born, like you're not born believing you can be a coach. I didn't believe I could be a great coach. I had to show up and take action and learn as I went. This is one of those things that you are going to learn as you do, not learn and then do. You're going to actually practice while you're learning. So first thing is you always have to be committed to coaching yourself. There's a nice hashtag, it sounds good coming off the tongue, that I use with our team. And I say, it starts with me. And it's true. It starts with you and your journey. You have to be committed to a program and document the journey. And right now we have a unique opportunity where we have Body. And so when I say program, I literally just mean our library. Be committed to the tools that you have access to as a coach, right? Begin reading books. Some of you joined our book club for the very first time this October, and I'm so pumped about that. That's where we get surrounded by each other to level up our mindset, to get around a different conversation and essentially pull greatness out of ourselves. It's in these books that I'm reading. I literally have them at a grab of a hat, you guys. It's in these books that I'm reading that I have my aha moments of a struggle I'm having that maybe other people are having too. I often feel less alone when I dig into books and podcasts that pull greatness out of me versus just numbing myself with scrolling or, the news or whatever it is, right? Instead of that, I want to challenge you to get into books like this. Be hungry to learn. Google, YouTube, they are your new BFF. And truly the search tab on either of our team pages is going to be your BFF too. There's so much out there that's already been done for you. So just be hungry to seek it out and learn. And remember that your business, the success of it is truly parallel to your fitness and your mindset journey. Anytime I get on a one-on-one with a coach who's telling me that they're struggling, I want to know, how's their workout? What are you pressing play on? What are you loving about your fitness journey? And I want to know what book you're reading and what you're learning about from it. Oftentimes, a coach that's struggling is not loving their fitness journey. They've plateaued somewhere, and maybe they're not really pouring into their mindset journey either. So coach yourself first, number one. Number two, invite others along. If you were on last night's call or you had a chance to catch the replay talking about our invite system and process, one of the things I shared at the beginning was it's easy as a new coach to get caught in this trap that you have to be there in your journey. You have to be your goal weight, or you have to be, athletic, or you have to have all the answers before you can start inviting people. And that could not be further from the truth. The best part about coaching is we're not the professionals. We're the cheerleaders. We're the person that says, come and do this with me. So you have to invite others along, because it's those people that get into your initial bod groups and initial community that are going to help you build confidence in yourself as a coach for others. So take messy action. In the beginning, ask your closest friends and family. I call them your dirt listers. They're the people who'd buy dirt from you. Ask them to do this with you for added accountability. Tell them how important this is to you. Tell them about this new thing that you started doing. That's how I got my mom to join. I was like, hey, mom, started this thing. It's really cool. Just trust me. You're going to buy shakes. Right? And my mom has been my best customer ever since, literally 8 years later. She was one of my first people. Anytime someone supports you on your journey or comments on a post or peeps at your stories, message them, thank them. Come from a place of gratitude that you're so grateful that they're supporting your journey and loving on your stuff. And then just let them know that the door's always open if they'd like to go on the journey with you. And remember that you never should decide for someone else whether they need this or not, because what we see on social media is oftentimes a highlight reel. So you might look at some friend from high school that seems to be happy in her skin, but maybe she's not. Maybe she's lacking some confidence as a new mom, or maybe she's lacking friendships. And this business, this community could be a solution to something, maybe fitness, maybe nutrition based, but oftentimes it's really based on the community and being surrounded by people and feeling a little less isolated in this world. So never decide for someone else if this is right for them. Let them do that for you. And the last one is help people get results. Super simple, you guys. Open up a bod group. It's as easy as like any other thing these days, right? You just click the next, and it guides you right through it. But open up a bod group before you even have people. Here's why. The day that someone says yes, they're ready to join you, where are you going to put them? How do you serve them? How do you love them? Your bod group in the beginning, I'm going to give you like a healthy dose of reality. It's not going to be good. It's awesome. I'm going to give you permission to suck at it. Like seriously. But that's how we get better. My first bod groups, well, they weren't bod groups back then, but my first groups and community were terrible. And I owe my very first clients and coaches and customers like a fruit basket. Seriously, I owe them something, like a card in the mail this Christmas, because they were not good. And I've gotten better. Thank God I've gotten better. So would you give yourself that gift to just grow? To take imperfect, messy action and learn as you go? The bod group is where the magic happens. It's where you get to check in. It's where you get to see how your people are doing. And you already know how to help others get results. So let's not overcomplicate this. Like, oh my God, I don't know what program I should do. I don't know. Yes, you do. You've tried some things and you're going to continue to try things. As a coach, as a newer coach, the best advice I could give you is keep trying new stuff. Maybe you got chocolate Shakeology with your challenge pack to start. Maybe next month, switch to vanilla. In the next month, switch to a combo pack. You tried whey, why not try vegan? Maybe you started with the performance line, Energize and Recover. Have you tried all the flavors? And if so, have you tried Shakeology? Maybe you swap them out. Okay, as a coach, it's your job to just try stuff right now. And so it's kind of in the beginning, a lot of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. If you don't love cafe latte Shakeology, awesome. Now you have a testimony for when somebody asks you, what's your favorite flavor? It's never a bad thing to get information about what you like and what you don't like. Some of our coaches tried 645 and realized it wasn't their jam. That's awesome, because now they can talk to their clients, their potential clients, about that as they're picking a program together. So never be afraid to try things. Don't overcomplicate it. Press play, drink your shake, read a book. If you can do that, you guys, you can teach other people to do that. And remember that some people will and some people won't, and that's okay. That's not on you. This is literally not a business where you drag people through the mud. That's not fun. Remember what I said, you want to keep it fun. So coach yourself first, invite people to do this with you, and then help them get those results. Like I said in the beginning, perfection stops so many new coaches before they can ever even get any sort of win. And it's not only just preventing you from getting wins, but it's preventing you from making progress, which is ultimately the prize of what we're doing as coaches. I'm not the most successful Beachbody coach in this network, but when I sit back sometimes and I look at my journey over the last 8 years, I'm so proud of the progress I've made as a human being, as Brittany. By the way, I don't even know if I introduced myself to kick off this call. My name's Brittany, if you don't know me. I'm the crazy lady who decided to join Beachbody 8 years ago. Okay, Anyway, but it prevents progress when we try to be perfect. Perfect does not exist, my friends. That's the beautiful part about being a human, right? And so I want you to embrace that and remember that action is going to beat that perfect idea every single time. Taking messy, imperfect action. Do not take perfect ideas to the grave with you. Take messy action on them. Be the kind of coach who takes that messy action while you learn. And instead of worrying so much about the outcome of, oh God, if I invite them, will they say yes? Will they say no? Will they ghost me? Instead of worrying about that, worry about, did I even send the invite? You never know what they're going to say if you don't even send the invite. So things we can control, because I want to really make sure we understand this right off the bat, that this is a business where there are a lot of things you can control and there's a lot of things you can't control. This is very different than clocking in and out at a normal 9 to 5. Okay. So things I can control, because I can't even control it for anybody on this screen right now. I can control pressing play and committing to a program or getting on a Body Live class. I can control drinking my shake and finding new recipes and trying out things that I like and love. I can control posting on social media, how often I do it, what I talk about, how I share my story. I can control documenting my journey. So choosing to take videos of my workout clip, my favorite clip of the day, or choosing to document as a coach that I'm on this new coach call right now and learning about my business that I'm so excited about, right? I can choose to document that. I can choose to get on team calls or not, or listen to replays. I can choose whether I log in to Win the AM, listening to trainings, daily power hours, and your income producing activities. I can choose if on Wednesday my status is active, meaning I've purchased or sold 50 volume of product. Now, if you're on your Shakeology Home Direct or you're on your Performance Stack, that's going to cover it. But it's when we stop our journey, when we're like this stick shift, we're on and we're off and we're on and we're off, that you have to start worrying about whether your status is active or not. Coaches that are on their journey and they're sold out, they're always active. I never have to worry about it. It's the coaches who go in and come back out that often dip into inactive status. You can control how you engage in your bod groups, whether you post and ghost, right? You go in, you post and you leave, or do you go in there, you post and you spend some time pouring love onto everybody else in there? You can control reading and listening to personal development, getting on book clubs, reaching out to your mentor or success sister, your upline coach. Remember, they're not a mind reader as much as we like to be. If you're struggling in the business or there's a sticking point for you, you have to communicate it. I never know if a coach is struggling. I mean, I can sense it, but I never know for sure unless they truly reach out to me and tell me exactly where they're struggling. So get in the practice of sharing that and sharing your wins too. You can contribute to the team page. You can cheer others on. There's so many things you can control. What you can't control, whether Sally joins you, what you can't control, whether this coach quits, right? Those are things out of your control. So let's embrace all the things we can control. And the more of those pebbles you add to the pile or the bricks you put on, the stronger you're going to build that foundation. So we talk about 4 vital behaviors, and I'm going to briefly break this down because this is what your tracker, if you're brand new, you might not have seen this yet. We have a digital one and a printable version, but you're going to get it when we start our new coach training on October 11th. So if you don't have access to it yet, hang tight, you will get it. But on there, we have 4 vital behaviors that Beachbody has deemed very important for successful coaches. And truly, these trackers were created by coaches who were having massive success in the business. And they wanted to see what exact behaviors are you doing every single day that's helping you to achieve success. When I started my business, fun fact, this didn't exist. And it was kind of like a guessing game of sorts. Now the guesswork is gone. We have a tracker where every day you can track the vital things that are necessary to your business. So you first, be proof the products. That's committing to a program start to finish, using the supplements, being a part of the community, celebrating and recognizing, cheering on others. That's you. And you might be like, well, Brittany, celebrating and recognizing others, that's kind of like not me. That's like other people, right? But I'll tell you that when I celebrate and I cheer on others, it gets me out of funks because I come from a place of gratitude. Anytime I get into my bod group, if I'm in a funk, by the time I exit that bod group after loving on everybody, I'm no longer in said funk because I'm just so filled with gratitude for this community, okay? Number 2 is sharing. Sharing your journey on social, kind of going behind the curtain in a sense, right? So it's like, I know that people don't really know what you're doing. So you're giving them like a behind the scenes look at what it's like. What's a day in the life of a coach like? What does it look like to get on a call like this? What does it look like to prep content for your bod group? What does it look like to, get that message in your inbox that says somebody can fit into their dress, right? Like, what does that look like? So a lot of times we go behind the scenes. When I'm posting and I'm sharing with others, I'm value oriented first. I want to provide solutions for other people. So rather than being a walking billboard, because here's the deal, you guys, Beachbody, they don't need you to sell for them. They do a great job at selling. We are not salespeople for Beachbody. What we are, we're solutions for people who are struggling. And so I always want to seek, how can I be a solution seeker for someone? And so when I look at my social media posts, if I kind of do a quick audit and I look through and I say, what value have I given people? If I feel like I haven't been giving value and I've been really just saying, join me, join me, join me, I have to kind of stop and start thinking about, how can I pour into others? And then I often will ask myself, would I join me? Am I being the kind of coach that someone would feel worthy of giving their money to, and someone would feel like could help them get results? Somebody's going to want to join you because they believe you can get them results. Simple. So you have to ask yourself that often. And here's the beautiful part. If the answer is no, I would not join me, perfect. Wake up tomorrow and be the kind of person that someone would join every day. Chip away at that, right? Number 3 is connections. Invites and follow-ups. And that's what we do every Tuesday night. And that's what all month long, Leah and Ashley are sharing their action hour schedule with you. But if you want guided and you want to see, like, how do you connect with people or reconnect? How do you invite? How do you follow up? You're going to want to be on our Tuesday calls at 6 p.m. Central, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central, where we do that middle block of our tracker where we connect, invite, follow up, which I call our income producing activities. And the last piece, which is a lot of times the piece that people miss, is the personal development and growth. That's reading and listening to books, audios, podcasts, etc. That's getting on team calls. That's getting on things like this. It's getting on the National Wake Up Call or listening to the playback of it. But it's also going to live events. So coming up in a couple weekends, we have a super weekend. If you haven't registered for it yet, I want you to get in touch with your upline coach and make sure that you know where your nearest super weekend is and get there. There's nothing like being around Beachbody live and in the flesh. And then every summer, we have what's called Coach Summit. And a lot of you new coaches are already on track to achieve a free ticket there simply by helping 3 people for 3 months in your first 6 months as a coach. So make that a goal for yourself. If you're brand spanking new or you're within your first 6 months, get that free ticket to Summit. Get yourself to a live event, okay? Because that also is part of your growth in this business, is getting surrounded by other people who are sold out and excited about the same things you are. Okay, so your next steps. Awesome, I'm good on time. Your next steps as a coach. If you haven't picked a program, Frankie says hi. It's the witching hour, you guys. We cannot help it in this house. If you haven't picked a program already and committed to it, I want you to do that. I want you to pick a program and a start date. And if you are already in a program, like for example, I'm in 645 right now and we're on week 11. So we're really close to the finish line. I need to already know what's my next plan and have that set. And so make sure that you know your game plan. And if your plan right now is Body Live classes, I want you on a week-to-week basis, like every Sunday, like clockwork, sit down and write out which classes, schedule them in the app, sign up for them, but then write them out in your planner and make that commitment. So it doesn't matter if you're going all in on a program start to finish, or you're just going to be like super hyped with Body Live right now. I love it. It doesn't matter which path you go, or even if you intermix, but make sure that you're committed to it, that you have a start date and a clear, like, moving through date. Okay. Go all in on that journey and document it on social media. Invite, and when I say all in and document it, I mean like the good days and the bad days, because that's what really makes you relatable, is the day that you were busy, but you showed up anyway. Or the day that you didn't feel like it, but you pounded your Energize, you got on Win the Morning and you just did the dang thing and you felt better. That's the kind of stuff people are inspired by. So when you're documenting and sharing your journey, make sure that it's not just the highlight reel of, yay, here's my workout. Because honestly, if I'm watching that and I'm somebody struggling in my journey, I won't be able to relate. How can you be relatable to the person in your season of life? Maybe you're a mama who's busy. Maybe you're a nurse that's stressed, or a teacher. I don't know what but whatever season of life you're in, like, talk to that person, because there's people out there that need to be inspired by you. Commit to inviting 3 people every day until you find at least 3 new people to join your group every month. And you don't have to stop at 3 every month. Beachbody uses that benchmark for metric purposes, but man, sometimes I see coaches hit Success Club 5 or 6, they've helped those 3 people, and then they stall out. No, keep inviting 3 every day until you at least get those 3 new people, and then keep going, right? We're going to kick off a Coach Quick Start on October 11th. So I'm going to challenge you to be in that Coach Quick Start. It's a very, it's like a 10-day training that we're going to actually all do together, because it's going to be right inside of our Coach Collab. So you don't have to go far for it. You just have to look for the daily post every day, but commit to completing that and take small forward-driven actions towards a future that you prefer. You know, this business took me a while to get to a place where I was in the future that I envisioned, but the time passed anyway. And if I had quit, if I had stopped, if I had said, no one wants to join me, what's the point? Life's busy, what's the point? I'll put this on the back burner. I wouldn't be sitting in the life I'm sitting in now, which I'm beyond grateful for. It's a life I prayed for really freaking hard. But it's not just the life I prayed for, it's a life I showed up and worked for too. So in this business, we're going to ask you to dream. Maybe you've never thought about what your preferred future is, but we're going to start stretching you on that. So start thinking about it. Think about, what would this ideal future look like? Maybe it's paying for your college, your children's college education. Maybe it's, for me, a preferred future in the beginning was I just didn't want to panic when I swiped my debit card. I was so nervous that it would get declined every time at the grocery store, and how embarrassing, right? And so that was my preferred future. It was a future where my heart didn't race when I was in the checkout lane. And then a preferred future for me was, maybe I could leave the classroom and do this full time. And then a preferred future was like, well, why don't we build a house? And now my preferred future, I'm like, crap, why don't I go buy more houses and flip them and then get into real estate? It keeps growing as I do. And that's what I want for you. I want you to get to that preferred future and then go for a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And then just be present in our community, you guys. A coach that's connected is a successful coach. There is not a single coach right now that is disconnected from our team that is thriving as a Beachbody coach. They're just not. Connected coaches have the best results. I used to say coaches have the best results. Connected coaches have the best results. So here's some ways to stay connected. Every Monday, 10 a.m. Central Time, our national wake-up calls. There's also a Team Beachbody podcast where you can listen to the replays. But Leah always posts them every Monday, like clockwork, on our Coach Collab page is where they'll be now. Okay, so you can always catch the replay there or on the podcast. Monday team trainings, like clockwork, make it an appointment that you can't miss. If your boss told you today that every Monday at 6 p.m. you had to be on a work Zoom, I'm sure you'd figure out a way to be on that work Zoom, even if the kids were screaming, even if dinner had to be delayed. You know what I mean? So if this is important to you and this is something you want to treat like a business, then you have to show up as if it's a business. Every Tuesday, guided action hours. We're kicking that off here in 3 minutes. Book clubs are right now Saturdays at 7 a.m. Central. And every day we have an open Win the AM Zoom room. This exact Zoom that you're on is pretty much always open for workouts and power hours, unless of course I'm using my Zoom for one-on-ones or something like that, right? But it's usually open 24/7, 365 for you guys to have accountability on your journey. So stay connected, use these resources. I like to call it the silver platter. And there's so much that you get on your platter, but you have to choose what you want to take off of it. It's like when you go to those, I've never been, but has anyone ever been to one of those fancy movie parties where they walk around with the silver platters and then you take the little, isn't that so fancy? None of us, maybe. Okay. Vision board. But I think of it like that. They walk around with the hors d'oeuvres or the drinks and it's I don't think I want the chicken skewer. I'm going to wait for the meatball, and you pick and choose what you want. And so this is kind of similar, but the more that you pick, the better I promise you your experience is going to be. So Guys, I'm going to stop the recording.